When it comes to high-speed rail in the UK, it's a cliché. Because it was proposed 8 years ago. January 8, 2012. The British government has given the green light to British high-speed rail 2. The initial investment will be £32 billion, but it was shelved for a variety of reasons. Until recently, Britain finally announced the reopening of high-speed rail line 2. Recently, the Daily Mail published a report that said, China Railway will participate in the high-speed rail bid. In addition, the Chinese side made a big promise. It will be completed in 5 years. Well below the 20 years or so that Britain's transport sector is planning. And it will further reduce construction costs. Britain's HSR2 comprises 3 sections of the railway, with a total length of more than 400 kilometers. It is planned to be built in 2 phases, the first of which is about 140 kilometers in length. It connects London with Birmingham, Britain's second largest city. The second phase is the construction of 2 railways, called Y-shaped. The connection between Manchester and Leeds will be completed around 2033. New high-speed trains run at speeds of 360 km per hour. When completed, travel time between London and Birmingham will be from about an hour and a half to 49 minutes. The time between Manchester and Leeds was reduced to 80 minutes. It reduced the time between the main Scottish cities by about 3.5 hours. The chairman of the Association of British Railway Operators has said, the new high-speed rail will help relieve the pressure on the transport capacity of many railway corridors. It is necessary to build. But the railway's budget has been growing in recent years. Project from the original £32 billion budget. After repeated studies, the figure rose to £88 billion. The department later reassessed it for transport. The budget is a staggering £106 billion. Equivalent to about 965.9 billion yuan. That's $2.4 billion for a kilometer. It is the most expensive high-speed train in the world. That works out to be nearly 20 times more expensive than building high-speed trains in China. Take the construction of the Sichuan High-Speed Railway in China as an example. The Sichuan High-Speed Railway is a high-speed railway linking Lebanon in Shanxi Province with Chengdu in Sichuan Province. It is also the first high-speed railway in China to cross the Qinling Mountains. The total length of the Sichuan High-Speed Railway is 658 kilometers. The construction period is 7.5 years and the total investment is about 81.49 billion yuan. The railway encountered many world problems during its construction. And the geology along the line is very complex. The proportion of bridges and tunnels in Shanxi reaches 92.1%. It is 135 kilometers across the Qinling Mountain section, and 7 large bridges have been built. It also has the longest single-hole, 2-way high-speed rail tunnel in Asia. Even so, the Sichuan line will cost only 120 million yuan a kilometer. Delays on Britain's high-speed rail line 2 also have a lot to do with high costs. Why spend so much money? There are many reasons. The first is the high labor costs since entering the developed country stage. Modern railway construction in Britain has not improved significantly in recent decades. There is only one high-speed railway in the country. It's called British High-Speed Rail 1. It is also known as the Star of Europe by the British public. But now Britain's high-speed rail 2 is to be built. Domestic does not have relevant technical personnel, however, it can adopt bid mode only. Wages for domestic workers are high, not comparable to those in China. The second is the cost of land. The UK and the horse win large projects. It enforces strict environmental assessment and protection standards. Britain is a country of private ownership of land. The government wants to build high-speed rail. The first problem is buying land from landowners. And it takes a lot more land to build a railroad than to lay tracks. The area of land needed. Even construction materials require large tracts of land. Even if the British government is determined to spend heavily on high-speed rail. British people and environmental groups are also concerned about damage to the environment. According to the British Ecological and Environmental Protection, scholars point out, British high-speed rail 2 will have to cross 350 habitats, 67 ancient woodlands, 30 rivers, and hundreds of ecologically sensitive areas. These problems must be addressed before high-speed rail can be built. That's another big expense. It's actually about UK high-speed rail. China Railway 16 has contacted the head of Britain's high-speed rail. First, it will greatly reduce the construction time. 400 kilometers can certainly be built in 5 years. It doesn't take 20 or 30 years. Second, China has rich experience in ecological protection. Take the Mongolian Railway in Kenya. The railway runs through the famous national park. the survival of dozens of wild animals. Breeding and migration pass through it. To this end, Chinese engineers built specially for wildlife passage. Try to avoid intrusions on these teams. In addition to time and construction costs, China will also speed up Britain's high-speed rail line to increase from the original design of 360 km per hour to 420 km per hour. It can be said that China Railway is sincere this time. How does Britain chew?